Plaintiff Nicole Lenhart is suing her former roommate, Troy Ireland, for unreturned property. Nicole says she had a purely sexual relationship with the defendant for about a month because she was bored and the defendant was there. But Troy says he and Nicole never had sex. Troy denies having any of the plaintiff's property.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Jeanine Pirro presiding.
Good afternoon, Jimmy.
Afternoon, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Nicole Lenhart is suing her roommate for furniture, clothing, and personal items. The defendant is Troy Ireland. Nicole, why don't you tell me how you met Troy?
I met Troy in about February 2008. I met him through my ex-boyfriend, and shortly after, we had started a physical relationship.
You started a what?
Physical relationship. It was nothing but that, it was strictly because I was bored, whenever, about once a month or something like that, we would have sex or physical activities. And shortly after that...
How old are you?
19.
So you had a physical relationship because you were bored about once a month?
Right, and Troy was there.
And Troy was there.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I don't really know what she's talking about.
Did you not have a physical relationship with her?
There was no physical relationship between us whatsoever.
Ever?
No, ma'am.
You swear?
Nothing physical. No, ma'am. She had a crush on me. Besides that, there was nothing else there.
So why is she saying this?
I don't have a clue.
And who are you? Step up here. What's your name?
My name is Mike, Your Honor.
You were his roommate?
I'm his best friend and roommate at the time.
Okay, did you ever see them together?
No, ma'am.
Never?
Never.
So why are you here today?
Because I'm his witness, so everything she's saying, I just want to make sure that it's the truth and nothing but the truth.
Oh, so you're going to monitor the truth here?
Yes, ma'am.
Sit down. Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
Well, we had a physical relationship, and shortly afterwards, they had mentioned that he had a room for rent. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I will move in. And he's like, okay, sounds great. We agreed on $400 a month.
Did you have a boyfriend at the time?
Yes. And he is still friends with my ex.
You had a boyfriend at the time and you're having sex with him because you were bored?
Oh, we weren't dating when him and I were having sex. No.
I just said to you, did you have a boyfriend at the time?
Oh, no. Yes, I did when I met Troy. I had a boyfriend when I met Troy.
Truth monitor. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, it doesn't.
He said yes and no. Sit down.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
When I
Take
met
a deep
Troy...
breath. You need to tell the truth.
Yes.
Okay?
I met Troy through my ex-boyfriend. And then after that, we had broken up, and Troy and I started our physical relationship. And that's when he had asked me if I knew of anybody who had a room.
Right.
So
do you move in?
Yes. I moved in
his apartment?
June. Yeah. No, it was his house out in Point Place.
Okay. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
And we had agreed on $400 a month. And so that was fine. I agreed, and we had never set up a date on when I had to turn in my rent and everything like that. So when I got money, I would give Troy it, because I was dancing at the time when I moved in with Troy at a local club. And I'm not anymore, but when I'd come home from work, I would give him my money.
All right. So what you're saying is that you moved into his house.
Yes.
And that there was an arrangement that you would pay $400 a month.
Yes.
Is that true, Troy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you sign anything?
No, we did not. And I always paid.
Did you ask her to sign something?
No, Your Honor.
How long was the term of this agreement? Do you know?
It was just for a time being, just until she got on her feet and got strong.
It was a month-to-month
Just to help
thing?
her out, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why do you want to help her out if you're not having sex with her?
I don't understand what sex has to do with any of this issue.
I'll ask the questions. You answer them.
Well, the fact is
why do you want to help her out? She's a dancer. You're a pole dancer.
I met her through a mutual friend of mine.
I was.
Yes.
That was
She's
what I
a
was
pole
doing.
dancer. You want to help her out? Why?
When I met her, she wasn't dancing.
I was dancing when I met Troy, and I was doing it because I needed to get out of the house, and I had just lost my job.
Okay. So you agree to pay him $400 a month?
Yes.
Do you pay him?
Yes.
Okay.
I paid him in cash. I never wrote him a check, so I never had a receipt.
How long did you live with him?
2 months and 2 weeks.
2 months and 2 weeks. 2 months and 2 weeks?
No, ma'am.
How long?
6 weeks.
1 month and 2 weeks.
6 weeks, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So why are you suing him?
I came home from work early one night, and he and Mike were at work, and he came home coming in the house cussing and screaming, and came up to my room, and I locked my door, and I had my lights off, and I was acting like I was sleeping, so I wouldn't start any confrontation or anything. And he was banging on my door persistently.
Why?
I don't know, because he was saying foul language towards me, and just I was afraid. I woke up the next day. I left early, And then I had to go to a family reunion, so I was gone for a week. And when I came back...
Up to that point, have there been any problems at all?
Well, I noticed things started kind of going bad once I started talking to this guy named Jeremy. And after that, I have a statement from Jeremy.
All right, let's see it. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you. I figured it'd be okay to park my car in the driveway. About an hour later, they unexpectedly came home. We heard them making comments such as, "This is not a parking lot. These cars need to move." Nikki and I then went out and moved our vehicles. After moving our cars, we then made our way back in and laid on the couch. Troy and Mike then went outside to the back steps. They were making comments about us. From that point on, Nikki just came over to my place in Toledo. She said it went on for quite a while. Nikki said she wanted to move out. This is all over this guy's car in the driveway?
Yes. We had I parked my car in the driveway and Jeremy's car in the driveway, and I thought they were at work, so I didn't find any problem with it.
All right. So he comes and bangs on the door. You make believe you're asleep. Why don't you call the police?
My stepfather, he is a police officer, and I went to my house and I talked to him about it. So...
Is there a police report?
I do not have it. I couldn't get it.
Did they ever go and talk to Troy?
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. So at some point you move out.
Yes. I was trying to move out. I was gone. I went to my family reunion. I came back and I went to the house and I was trying to get some things, and Troy immediately told me to leave. And I did just that. I did. And that's when I contacted my stepdad, and he goes, "This is where you get the police involved." And I was like, okay. And that's when I did this. And I went and I called Troy, asking him if I could just come get my things. We'd move on our way. No issues would be started. Nothing.
What did he say?
No, we don't live in Nikki's world. This is not what's going to happen. This is my stuff. It's in my home. This is now my belongings.
Did you call the police then?
Yes, I did.
What did they do?
I waited 2.5 hours to try and do a keep the peace. They never showed.
Wait a minute. Your stepfather's a cop. How could
My
you not
stepfather's a cop from me, and he can't cross jurisdictions.
Yeah, but cops call each other and say, "My stepdaughter's got a problem. The guy won't let her leave with her stuff. Just go visit." What's that about? Don't lie to me. Give me a police report. Give me something.
I don't have my police report.
Does that make sense to you?
No.
I'm sorry.
So you move out. Okay. Talk to me, Troy.
Yeah, Your Honor, you're having the same problems I had the whole time with her getting...
Don't tell me what kind of problems I'm having. You just tell me about your relationship with her. What happened?
All right. She moved in with me. I met her through a mutual buddy of mine. The guy was talking down to her and stuff like that, and we had talked between us when he wasn't around that she, she was going through rough times in her life, and she needed a strong place and a strong basis. I'm a little older. My brother's a little older. We got a nice place. She's like, "I don't have the money right away, but I get paid on Friday." That was a week later. I said, "Look, no problem. You can pay me $100 a week until you get the $400 paid off for the month."
So, but Troy, what is your relationship with this woman that you're so nice to her? I mean, don't worry about the money. You can pay me $100 a week, whatever.
Until the end of the week, it didn't seem like a big deal to me to help somebody out.
But how do you know she wasn't crazy? I mean, how do you just take someone in on, just a promise? There's got to be something more to the story.
Well, I prayed, and I felt like it was a good decision to make, so I made the decision.
You prayed, and you figured it was a good decision?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, go ahead. So what happens?
So after the first week, I really didn't get any money. I didn't get anything. After the second week, I was asking her about some money. It was 2 weeks into the situation. She said she would have it to me at the end of the night. She went to work, came home with $100. So it was 2 weeks into the situation. She owed me $200 for that month. The next month was starting would be $400. It was starting the third week into the second month, or the first week into the second month. She started. She told me she would pay me at the end of the next week. The next week came along. She came home with a puppy. I asked her where the puppy came from. She said she got it from one of her guy friends. Because I was wondering how she could afford the $300 for the puppy. She said, "Oh, no problem. I'm stripping. I'm stripping too. I got to stripping and babysitting, and I'll pay you through that." Is all I kept hearing.
She was stripping and babysitting?
And babysitting and working at the YMCA, she had told me. And she had a sugar daddy. And then from there, I only got $100 3 weeks into the situation.
Okay.
I would text her. I would call her. She wouldn't answer. And then she knew my schedule from the gym and from work, and she would come back to the house when I was gone all the time, do her little things, eat, take a shower, whatever she did, her laundry, she'd be gone.
So it's your testimony that she gave you a grand total of how much?
$300 out of 6.
For 6 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. What did she bring with her when she moved in?
She brought 2 dirty mattresses, a nightstand, and 3 bags of clothes.
Okay. And is that what you're suing for?
I'm suing for my bed, my nightstand, all my clothes, all my shoes. I have personal items. I have, along with jewelry, which I have receipts for.
Okay. Now, you're keeping those items.
The items weren't even of any interest at that point. It was just taking care of the money and figuring out what she was doing, where she was going.
What do you have of her items?
I have nothing of hers.
Okay, so when she says that you have a mattress and a nightstand and all that stuff.
Just like I had told the detective, I had talked to my attorney. There was no written agreement. She had no mail coming to my house. I had another roommate I had to clean the room out for. Sit it out for the trash. And that's exactly what I did.
What did you put in the trash?
3 bags of stuff, 2 mattresses. I set it out for the curb. I sent her a text to come get it. We had talked.
Do you have a copy of the text?
No, ma'am. I do have a copy of a letter she wrote me stating she owes me money. But other than that, like my lawyer informed me that it's not my job to keep a hold of her stuff or hold anything.
I don't need to know what your lawyer said, because I don't really care. Okay, I'll make the decisions here. Troy, hey, sorry I missed your call last night. I left my phone in my car. I'm working tonight at Scarletto, so I won't be home till 2:30, 3 in the morning. I'm also babysitting tomorrow morning and working tomorrow night along with Friday and Saturday night, so you'll be getting money tonight, Saturday. Sorry once again. Love, Nikki.
It's always once again.
I'm not disagreeing with that. No, I did owe him money at the last month.
How much money did you owe?
That was, I had given him $200 and I owed him $200, and that was the first week of the last month I was there.
So you say you owe him $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he says you owe him $300?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're in agreement. But the curious thing is that you're not suing her.
No, ma'am.
Even though you both agree, I mean, I wish most of my cases were, they both agree you owe him money, but you don't want to sue for it. All right, Truth Monitor, what do you want to tell me that's relevant?
Your Honor, I lived through the whole situation.
Were you living at the place?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
Okay. What was the problem? She moved in, he's Mr. Nice Guy, he prayed to God, let her move in, and now all hell breaks loose.
After the money started coming up, she started disappearing and not coming home and coming in when we were gone and eating our food that we bought. You know what I'm saying? She did help out a little bit in the beginning, but towards the end, it was nothing. When we started needing our money.
Do you know if she paid anything at all?
Just the one time. Just that one time.
Okay. Were they a number at all?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Did he have a girlfriend?
No, ma'am. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time either.
How do you have a stripper living in the house that you're trying to be nice with, and you don't have a girlfriend and you're not hitting on her?
Your Honor, at first she wasn't dancing. She said she worked.
It doesn't matter if she's dancing or not. She's a young, available girl. Did the roommate ever try anything with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I...
This is your last chance. Go ahead. And let me see your receipts. What do you have that you say that he kept of yours?
I have receipts for some of my jewelry. I had a Hearts on Fire diamond necklace, a diamond ring, a sapphire
Oh, hogwash. You mean to tell me the guy's banging on your door and you leave for a week and you leave your sapphires and your diamonds at his place?
I was going to a family reunion camping out at some park. I wasn't going to take my jewelry.
What do you think was in that bag, Troy?
Trashy outfits and a stained bed with a wooden crate. That was about it.
A what?
Stained bed. That was about it.
How do you know?
Because it was dirty and it stunk, just like her and herself.
Okay, here's the deal. Not that it's relevant, but I don't believe you for 1 second that you weren't having sex with her or you're so angry about it.
What does that have to do with anything?
But don't answer me. I'm in the middle of my verdict. Now, she is suing for furniture, clothing, and personal items. Now, I don't believe for 1 minute that you left jewelry in a house where you're having a war with a guy, so I'm not going to give you any money for that. But the truth is that the defendant admits himself that he threw out bags of your property. He had absolutely no right to do that. So as far as this court is concerned, I'm going to give you $450 for the mattress, $100 for the nightstand, the stereo, $200 a lamp, $50.
There's no stereo even in the house.
You keep your mouth quiet. You're seeking a grand total of $3,000. I'm going to give you $1,500. Don't you ever throw a tenant's property away again. So be it. Verdict for the plaintiff.